If you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything. I'm positive that a doer makes mistakes. Shalom, Yashala, peace, Israel, Kahalo, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. It's the brother of Baal Gabar, Camp Prophets in Babylon. Next, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who do indeed teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. All right, and this lesson is, some inspiration for brothers, and a message to brothers in the Prophets in Babylon camp as well. And brothers and sisters all around, and Lord willing, it's edifying to the hopeful elect. And that was just a quote I read. I got some quotes, some inspiring quotes, and obviously the scriptures. But this lesson is going to be centered around: don't fear making mistakes. Do not fear making a mistake. Why is that? Because there is a lesson in those mistakes. And if you are of the elect, it's not the mistake that matters. Okay? It's not the mistake that matters. Is if you're going to rise back up. That's what matters. Okay? If you're going to get back up. If you're going to learn from the mistake. Proverbs 24:16, for a just man falleth 7 times. And that 7 times just means completion. And rises up again. But the wicked shall fall into mischief. The wicked are going to fall into mischief. Okay? And at the end of the day, we can't stop that. Okay? We cannot stop the wicked from falling into mischief. All right? It says, for a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again. All right? So if you are of the elect, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall short. You might say the wrong thing, but guess what? You're going to get corrected. You're going to learn. You're going to learn from the mistakes. But if you're not making any mistakes, you're not learning. Okay? And as younger Jakes, as a leader, younger Jakes, hey, they got to go out there and they got to make some mistakes. When words can't teach you, adversity definitely will. And, sometimes words can only teach so much. Like a good example is when you have a young child, maybe a brother or sister, and, the stove's all the way hot, red hot. And you keep telling the brother or the sister or the child, hey, don't touch the stove. Don't touch the stove. And that child, he doesn't fully understand because he hasn't had the experience of understanding the heat of that stove. So, you tell him, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove. Next thing you know, what does he do? He touches the stove, gets burnt, right? But then that child learns to never touch that hot stove ever again, okay? Through the mistake that he made, okay? So there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. The problem is when you don't learn from your mistakes, okay? And like I said, for younger brothers, be prepared to get thrown into the fire more, man. And don't fear falling. Don't fear making a mistake. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. The problem is when you don't learn from your mistake, then there's something wrong, okay? We all make mistakes, okay? I got another quote. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go. It says, it's not the mistake that matters, it's how you deal with it. What you learn from it and how you apply that lesson to your life, right? Because words can only teach so much. Jake can only learn so much from hearing certain words. Sometimes Jake gotta get the experience, man. And that's something brothers definitely in the Prophets in Babylon camp need more of. Is some experience. Going out there, teaching, learning how to, edify the sheep on the highways and hedges, right? This is Sirach 25:6. It says, much experience is the crown of old men, and the fear of God is their glory, right? And, wisdom is not measured in length of days. You got old men that are 80, 60 years old, they don't got this truth. They don't know Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, so it's wisdom, okay? And through experience, you gain wisdom, okay? Through mistakes, you gain wisdom, okay? Through a fall, you will fall and you will learn wisdom, man. All right? You know, and we try to avoid falling, which there's nothing wrong with that because you don't want to fall, obviously. You know, we try to become perfect, but the point is, don't fear the fall. Do not fear the fall, okay? Because there's a learning experience in that, and you should want to learn more, okay? You should be inspired to learn, okay? You should be inspired to grow in this truth. This is Sirach 34:10. He that hath no experience knoweth little. Okay? You know, so if you don't have experience with certain things, you don't really know much. All right? You know, so you got to get the experience of certain things, especially, you know, teaching. Brothers got to get the experience on how to open a camp. Brothers got to get experience on how to hold camp for a long period of time, because words can only teach so much. Now it's time for brothers to get that experience, man. You know? And don't fear the fall, okay? You will learn from your mistakes, especially if you are of the elect, okay? It says, he that hath no experience knoweth little. Right, like you go back to the example of the baby, you know? He didn't have no experience until he touched that hot stove, and you find out, oh shit, you know, I'm not going to touch that stove again. You learn from your mistakes, man. All right? And we have to understand as men, you know, men of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to make mistakes, okay? But are you going to learn from them? If you don't learn from him, that's the problem, okay? But if you're not making any mistakes, then you're just not doing anything. And that's not good either. Okay, that's called being sluggish. That's called being lukewarm. Okay, that's called being complacent. It says, he that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath traveled is full of prudence. You know? Has done many things, has been through many things, you know? It doesn't just stop at, you know, going, you know, traveling in itself is good, you know, which I've traveled a lot in my life, you know, but even, you know, concerning this truth, you know, getting experience in this truth, learning new things about this truth, okay, learning how to open up a camp, learning how to close a camp, okay, learning how to, you know, be out there for a long period of time and get that experience. But it takes experience, okay? It takes being put into that fire, all right? And in that, you might make a mistake, all right? But that's not the problem. The problem is, are you going to learn from your mistake, okay? Don't be discouraged at your mistakes, all right? A just man falleth 7 times, man. Let me grab this real quick. This is Sirach 37:23. A wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out with this one last quote. It says, if you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything. A doer makes mistakes. Okay, and don't be just a hearer of the word, be a doer also. All right, so hey, call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakak Wadash. Till next time.